So, Gio, obviously, you and I were talking about the possibility of Russell Westbrook getting traded to the Charlotte Hornets and then sending the Lakers Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward. I was thinking about getting Nick's thoughts on that and seeing like what he thinks about the fit with Russ and LaMelo. I feel it could be the same as it is right now with LeBron and Russ.
Um, that's very factual, but no, actually, I think it's very similar. I think having Russ be like the second option is very tough for a lot of the teams though,
Yeah,
because he can't shoot, he can't really play off the ball. All like if he has to have the ball to be like Russell Westbrook,
hmm
but I feel like it could help LaMelo a little bit, just like the mentor wise, like the teaching. But in terms of making playoffs, I think that makes them worse because that just brings so much money wrapped up into them.
yeah.
But it does help the Lakers, though.
The only way I see it working is if they put Melo off ball instead of Russ.
True, true. But what does that say to Lamelo? What do you
Yeah,
think Lamelo's thinking with
that's what
that?
I'm saying. I don't think he'd want to go off ball.
Because he's been so promising already. Like, Gio, you think so?
Right, yeah. So LaMelo is obviously the face of that franchise, right?
Yeah,
But then you also have the fact that LaMelo needs to have the ball in his hands in order to get his shot going. Like he needs to get into a rhythm with dribbling the ball and then putting up shots. And I don't think he can be that like off-ball guy, to be honest.
yeah, I agree. I don't think the only places I see Russ going is either the Rockets or the Knicks. Those are the only two fits I can see.
Um, I would have to agree with going to the Knicks. I don't see him going back to the Rockets, especially with his first stint there.
The only
But
reason I say Rockets is because they're one of the teams that can take on his contract.
right, exactly. But yet again, you got Charlotte where Jordan owns it, right? And he's part of Jordan brand. They got a great connection already, great relationship. So I feel like that would be like the only reason why he should go to Charlotte.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, and I think Charlotte is one of those teams where it's like it's a small market where not a lot of players like superstar talents might want to go there. But
Right.
then again, with LaMelo there, they could bring in a little something, something.
Mhm.
So I don't know what they want to do, especially with the dry free agency season this year. Unless they can get Aiton, that would be sick.
He might leave the Suns. You never know.
If the Suns can't match his contract, that that's someone I would throw my money towards. Aiton, maybe like I think Gary Trent's this free agency too, but just a little something there maybe.
Yeah,
But LaMelo could
But,
also attract some people. Sorry, go ahead,
right.
Joe.
I was gonna say I would love to see the dynamic between Russell Westbrook and Miles Bridges since they're so explosive. So it would be interesting in that duo for sure.
that's true.
What do you think about Rozier on the Lakers, though, Jake?
I think it'd be a good fit, to be honest. He can shoot and he's a good defender.
Would that put them into do you still like Anthony Davis on the Lakers though?
If he can stay healthy, yes.
What do
Um.
y'all think? All right, go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. Ask your question.
Um, do you think he can stay healthy though next year enough to where y'all will push the top seeds?
That's the $1 million question.
Like, there is frustration with Lakers fans, right?
Yes. Like, I mean, I want to give him one more year to see, but at the same time, if it doesn't work out, that's another year of LeBron gone.
Yep.
So I feel like I feel like if we have to throw him in with Russ, like just to make it more attractive, we might be willing to.
I feel like that would be hard to trade though.
Right, exactly. You're gonna get half a team right there. You're gonna get like someone's team, pretty much the entire team for those two guys.
Yeah, true.
They'd have to take in like 2 max contracts, and then they'd have to make up the team they trade with would have to make up 2 maxes.
Right.
Unless you do like a 3 or 4 team trade.
Mm.
True. But ideally, you would get like one superstar
Yeah.
and then a few role players. Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be ideal.
Yeah. Maybe some picks too.
Thanks.
But for me, I do not see them trading Anthony Davis.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it either because him and LeBron are just so tight.
They're so tight, but the fact is, when Anthony Davis is healthy, I don't know another big other than Embiid or Jokic that can really, play like him.
And
It's very hard to find a center or a power forward that is so versatile like AD and so aggressive.
And you saw that against the Nuggets too. Like he was only 50%, I would say. He didn't look healthy at all. And he still dropped like 28, 8, and 9.
Right. So he's able to contribute, and he's able to contribute at a high level. It's just when can he do that?
Yeah. I feel like someone just has to go to his trainer or like just up to him and be like, you got to get a better body plan. Like hold him accountable.
Right. And the thing is, if he's able to get stuff right, if he's looking at all the negativity this season, pushed onto him, and the fact that he can't stay healthy, and that's why the Lakers should trade him and all that, and he comes back healthy next season and he shows everyone the Anthony Davis of New Orleans, right, in the beginning part of his career, then it would be fun to watch for sure.
Yeah. That's what we were expecting this season too. Like everyone, like even LeBron said that I expect a mad Anthony Davis, which
Right.
happened at the beginning of the season. He was playing great and then he got hurt.
Exactly.
It's so frustrating with the injuries.
No, because we had 39 different starting lineups and 31 wins. That just tells you right there.
Yep.
We'll make it 40 now because it's going to be 40 tonight.
Exactly. But it also shows you that Frank Vogel can't find a rotation at the same time to have a starting lineup, to have a good fit with everyone. So
that's his biggest downfall as a coach, I would say.
They still started DeAndre Jordan when AD was like kind of healthy last night.
No, we waived him a while ago.
Oh, I'm still
we took way too long to do it, but we finally did it.
That's bad.
And now we waived Trevor Ariza, 3 games remaining. What's the point?
I think that like you said last time, that they're just starting to they're just starting the off season, right?
Yes.
And they're just trying to make space. Obviously, they're trying to see what new young kids can do. So if you've got a good 3-game stint, you never know if they can be a rotational piece.
It's true. Like even if you don't win, but you can see potential in the young players.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
But with trading aspects, right? I honestly don't see the Lakers trading Russ at all, right? Just for the fact that I don't think you can get, like, you can't benefit a trade. Obviously, you want to trade and you can't get like that star player, and you want to trade Russ just because he's not a good fit. But if you give him one more season, you never know, the chemistry between LeBron, AD, and Russ in the offseason can, increase.
Yeah, but I just don't see it happening to be a good fit, whether we keep him or not. I think we will trade him, but we're not going to ask for a superstar back. I think our asking price will be low because we don't even have a pick to pair with him. It'll just be like Russ for a couple role players, I feel like.
Right. Do you still, with the Houston trade, do you guys still see the John Wall trade still on the table?
I think it's still on the table, but it's a matter of if Russ wants to go to the Rockets or if the Rockets want Russ.
Right.
Because the Rockets they're going young. They already said they're rebuilding, so I don't think they want Russ.
Well, why would it matter to Russ? Like, at the end all, he doesn't have a decision. He gets traded. He gets traded.
Yeah, but he'd sit the bench. I mean, he can pretty much have a say where he wants to go. Like any player can tell them, like, I'd rather go here.
Right.
With the John Wall trade, if y'all potentially do that this offseason, how much better do you think it would be then?
Personally, I don't think it'd be much better because he's injury prone just like Anthony Davis. That's what I'm worried about.
And John Wall's, maybe he might still be like phenomenal or like good. We just haven't seen.
Mhm.
But even then, he's not too much of an upgrade of a shooter over Westbrook. So I still don't like the spacing of it. Although John Wall is more shifty, I feel like he's a better team player than Westbrook is. And he'll make more of the right decisions. So I think the little things will be better. But you'll still have the core problem of surrounding your big two as shooters.
Yeah, I agree. And they're both 3 ball dominant players again.
Mm.
That's why I feel like it's just better if we just go after role players. We don't need a third star to pair with LeBron and Anthony Davis.
But with the fact with John Wall, right? I feel like Russ missed. To be honest, I feel like Russ missed a lot of open layups, a lot of open shots.
Yeah.
Where I believe John Wall will be making those open shots and those open layups. Where when you drive in, you're going to be spacing the floor because they got to collapse the defense. So if you can get 2 role players, right? Sign 2 role players that are shooters. You never know because, you have that space and because of John Wall, because of LeBron James, and then you're able to, use Anthony Davis to your advantage and then have those shooters around them too.
That's true, but I feel like we put in the same position for our bench because John Wall's contract is just as worse as Russell Westbrook's, and we're only be able to sign like vet minimums, and we saw how that worked
Right.
out this season.
But I feel like if you get the right pieces, obviously, the age will be a problem. But if you're able to get the right pieces, like a defensive player or just a shooter, I feel like you'd be fine.
Maybe, but it's also a matter of is he as explosive as he was prior years because he hasn't played in 2 years.
Exactly.
I just hope y'all keep Melo.
I hope so too, but he can't play defense as much as I love the guy.
Yeah, no.
Do you guys see him getting a ring before the end of his career?
Go ahead, Saya.
It depends, I would say.
I agree. I think it depends on if he stays where he is or if he starts ring chasing.
Yep. Like if you wanted to, sorry, I saw that looking face. What were you gonna say, Jay?
I wasn't going to say anything. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I would love to see a reunion with him in the Knicks. Obviously, that would mean he's not going to get the ring, but he's going to get a good farewell tour with the New York Knicks, where in a place that everyone loves him.
I think he'll do a like 10-day contract with the Knicks at the end of his career, where he'll be like D Wade did with the Heat, where like he'll retire with the Knicks.
Right. But you think he'll be ring chasing for the rest of his career?
I wouldn't say he'll ring chase. I can't see Melo ring chasing personally.
I also don't see him ring chasing. Sorry, but some would say he was ring chasing when he went to LA. But at the same time, him and LeBron are extremely good friends.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily ring chasing, and the fact that like when Miami wins the finals this year, he's going to sign for a minimum there. Like he's not going to go following the championship teams.
Right.
I would say.
Yeah, I agree.
Speaking about reunions with Carmelo, what about the Nuggets? Do you see him possibly going back to the Nuggets at any point in time?
I personally do not, because I feel like they already have a nice rotation where I don't know if he'd play that much, to be honest.
I can see that. That's a fair take. But I think it would also be sick if he went back to the Nuggets right now. Because then, as much as like he's not going to get playing time necessarily, like a true farewell tour, it's more of like a fit basis where it's a place where there contenders
Right.
because they're going to be healthy next year too, or like the year after that. But then LaMelo, what the Nuggets get out of it is a mentor to all the young people they have on that team. You could teach like Michael Porter Jr. You could teach others. I'm blanking on their names, but like you can still teach that very young team and kind of like get them rolling, especially with time with LeBron and AD on a former championship team. He kind of like actually he really doesn't because the Lakers were just so bad at keeping players on top of things. But yeah, what y'all think about that?
I agree with you. That's why I thought he should possibly make a reunion with the Nuggets is for that mentorship role, right? I think he'd be a great fit with Jokic just because I feel like Jokic will find him every time. And if Melo is able to hit his shots, then that's perfect for him. And I feel like the pressure on him this year, right? He needed to make the shots in LA. All of his shots. I feel like mentally, there was just too much pressure on him because they needed to go to the finals. You know, everyone expected them to. And the fact is the pressure got to them this year. LeBron James, right? He had a second stint with Nick's favorite player in Dwayne Wade on the Cavs. And obviously that didn't work out in 2018 and they traded him back to Miami. So although they're good friends, it is a business. And I think that in order to get better as the Lakers, you will have to get rid of Carmelo because I don't think it's a good fit with him and LeBron because I feel like when they're on the floor together, either LeBron's got to do something for Melo or Melo's got to do something for Bron. And it's not a good basketball dynamic, I don't think. So in that respect, I would love to see him go someplace else like the Nuggets, either get playing time, don't have that much pressure, and he can just play basketball the game he loves.
That's fair.
It'll be like a throwback to his Portland days.
Facts.
Right.
Although I think he better on the Nuggets with Nikola Jokic passing on that ball.
Exactly. And then you also have other shooters on that team as well, where you're going to always have an open team or an open teammate. Don't forget about Jamal Murray. He's going to be coming back too, where he's able to collapse the defense and pass out as well.
That's
I
true.
like that Nuggets. Sorry. I like that Nuggets team too, though, because Jokic can shoot the three ball as well. As much as I'd rather not have him chucking it every time, he can stand there and still be a threat.
Right.
Allowing Melo to be a little mid-range killer like he is.
Exactly.
And just work that block. So I think it would be really cool.
Yeah, that's true.
And on the Lakers, I don't believe that they were able. They obviously didn't have great shooting the entire season. So I don't think it opened up Melo's mid-range game as much as people hoped for.
Yeah, the only time he got mid range is when he was posting up.
Right.
But that's why I think the Lakers need to keep him because he was their only shooter outside of Malik Monk. But Malik Monk is so inconsistent.
But at the same time, are you gonna get rid of the defensive aspect of it? Would you rather keep Carmelo and have him shoot possibly 40% from the field, right? Where he is clutch, don't get me wrong. He's a great basketball-minded person, and he's clutch in the aspect of, late in the season. But defensively, you're missing something, right? And pretty much what you're getting from Melo is rebounding and shooting. So
yeah, but I say we let go of all our bench outside of Reeves, THT, Monk, and Melo, and just get the rest defensive players.
That's understandable.
Like a mindset of what we had with the 2020 championship team.
Right. But do you think that, you should try to trade, THT?
If we can pair him with Russ and that would make a team more attractive, then yeah, I'd say yes.
I agree with that. Just like nice little role piece, THT.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to minimize. Because Russ has a bad taste in his mouth.
Right.
Even though he did play better the last couple of games.
Mm-hmm.
So just giving that little more incentive to just like, yeah, let's make this deal.
Yeah.
Could be nice.
Plus, THT's only like 21,
Very young.
so that's the main reason why I want to keep him, because of his age. I know he can develop, but I mean, if we can get someone to win now, then I want to win now.
Mhm. If you think about it, you already won the AD trade,
Yeah, exactly.
but the Russell Westbrook trade is what's making you on full blast nowadays.
hmm
But it was interesting to hear that Russ said he wanted to come back.
yeah, that was very interesting. But I mean, how true is it? Everyone says stuff like that, and then
Right.
they leave.
And then he gets traded. But I know it's trying to be like respectful to, Laker Nation and the Lakers in that regard. But if he actually wants to come back, I feel like the NBA should be on notice, because a hungry Russell Westbrook working out in the offseason. Remember when he got traded to Houston and he had that crazy offseason where he was, working out with James Harden and doing these crazy workouts. And then obviously he didn't have a great first half, but that second half was crazy that he had on that team. So I think in that respect, you already had, a little bit of momentum going out of the regular season this year for Russ. He just needs to carry that through till next season. And like I said, you never know with chemistry in the offseason. It can get better for those three guys.
It's true. If we do have to end up keeping him, true.
Does Russell Westbrook's contract next year is a player option, right?
Yeah.
So like for like this offseason,
Yeah.
he wants that bag. That's why
Yeah.
he's saying, yeah, I want to come back to LA.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. He's not turning $40 million down.
Because how much do you think he could be on the open market, theoretically?
It wouldn't be as much as he is right now, that's for sure.
No. So I think, yeah, he'll stay for the bag. But hopefully, for Jake's sake, he will have that little Houston mold, and he'll be remotivated.
Right.
If he does stay, yes.
Because I'm just trying to see the Lakers and Heat running back next year. After Miami wins this ring, they beat us. Damian Lillard. I think it'll be a good time.
I think so too. Be fun.
So speaking about your Heat, right?
Yes, sir.
Bam had a couple words about Kevin Durant, and he said he was the hardest player to guard.
That makes sense.
So,
Um,
so would you have to agree with Kevin Durant is the hardest player to guard in the NBA?
would I agree?
Yeah.
Yes. Just playing defense-wise? You're talking about like modern day NBA, right?
That's it, right? Yeah, right now.
Okay, yeah. Then yeah, no doubt. He's a 7-foot like guard, got handles. You can shoot from anywhere. He's not necessarily predictable with his game, which I think that is like one of the most crucial pieces of it, playing defense. But I'd still take Bam.
As the hardest player to guard.
As what?
As the hardest player to guard.
No. I'd take Bam in that defensive matchup.
Gotcha.
Slowing down Kevin Durant.
What do you have to say on that?
Me?
Jake? Yeah.
Yeah. I would agree. I mean, Kevin Durant, even if you have a hand in his face, he can literally just raise over you given how long his wingspan is and how tall he is. And like Saya said, he has like handles like a guard and he's already 7 feet. So I don't know how can you stop that, to be honest.
I would have to agree on that aspect of it, but for me, I would have to pick Joel right now. I feel like we haven't seen Joel be stopped yet this season. So,
but the way I look at it, because Joel is great inside the paint, but I would let him shoot, to be honest, because he's not an efficient 3-point shooter yet.
But his shot's not bad. Like he's able to hit a couple of threes here and there.
Yeah, but I'd rather take my risks of him making a three than backing me down in the paint.
Okay.
And I'd say the same for Giannis and LeBron as well.
I agree with that. And they're kind of more predictable with their shots.
Yeah.
I think Embiid being the most predictable.
And then go right ahead. Finish that statement.
With Embiid, you just know where he is best to play, where he wants to score, where he is most confident to score. So he's going to work it into the paint, try to score there rather than just like necessarily taking an open midi or something, or even putting the ball on the floor.
The one person that I could see like playing against Durant for this is Jokic, because Jokic can do everything.
He can, but not another two players I would honestly say that cannot be stopped, right? Offensively. Steph Curry. It's very hard to guard him. I feel like he might be the hardest player to guard because like everyone says, he can pull up from half court pretty much. So
And
you
he
got to
moves
play
off
up
the
on
ball
that.
constantly too.
Right. And so in that offensive, respect, I feel like Steph Curry might have Kevin Durant, although Kevin Durant is a 7-foot shooter. Steph Curry might be the hardest player to guard just in the fact that, he moves all the time and he's able to shoot the ball anywhere and then he's able to finish. And then Kyrie Irving, who has the handle to break your ankles every single time. Doesn't matter how you defend him, he's going to find a way to score. So I think Kyrie might be the hardest or Steph Curry at this point.
Those are both valid.
There's definitely arguments to be made between the three, I would say.
I agree.
To be fair, no, the only person stopping Stephen Curry from getting like 30 every night, it's just Stephen Curry having an off-shooting night.
Exactly.
Like,
and you could say the same for Kyrie too.
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
Kyrie, he's so shifty with his handles.
Like, bro, imagine trying to guard Kyrie. You would get broken every time.
Right.
Oh, bro, I wouldn't even play like real defense.
Same.
I would just let him shoot because at least it's not like a highlight reel.
Bro, I just yell switch.
Very valid.
So speaking about off shooting nights, would you want if you had to pick to have an off shooting night, who would you pick? Steph Curry, Kyrie Irving, or Kevin Durant to have an off shooting night? Which one would you pick? If you're playing against them and you need to win a game.
I would say Steph Curry, because Steph Curry, if he can make 8 to 10 threes a game, bro, you're already lost.
Right. That's valid.
Can y'all hear me clearly real quick?
Now we can, yeah.
Okay. The person most likely to have an off shooting night, I would say, is Kyrie. But he's just so shifty with how he plays that he can be off shooting, but still dribble through a defense and get a layup or something. But I would rather have Stephen Curry every single time. Just have off shooting.
Right.
Because, sorry.
I was just going to say that's a valid point you're making about Kyrie. But, and you both are saying Steph, right? In that regards, I feel like that helps the argument of how lethal he is and how he might be the hardest player to defend because you want him to have the off shooting night. Whereas I don't believe we're all saying Kyrie or Kevin Durant.
So with that, though, ready?
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right, with that, the way I see it, I'd rather have Steph Curry have an off shooting night because some of the times he can hit a three with great defense on him. But he's also only 6 feet tall, where you put a more sizable person on him. You like NBA teams can't put like a 6'7" lockdown, like say Kawhi guarding Stephen Curry. then they'll just leave the matchup between Reggie Jackson and their small forward like Andrew Wiggins.
Right.
That's a mismatch. So, but Kevin Durant, you have to put your best defender on him, just
Mhm.
because he has such an easier time with the like post up ability too, I would say.
And I would
I
also
can
say,
understand that.
I would also say, like, we're also saying Steph Curry because Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant can both get to the rim easier than Stephen Curry.
I agree with that.
Right.
But those are definitely the top three, I would
Yeah.
say.
100%.
Hardest to go.
Yeah, I would not want to guard any of them if I was a defender in the NBA.
Nah.
Yeah.
Unless I'm Lou Dort.
Yeah, exactly.
Lou Dort, Bam Adebayo, PJ Tucker, Pat Bev. Those guys are all killers, in their own way. So
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler.
Kyle Lowry.
Nah, I would. So the Heat fan going crazy again, but moving on. I just wanted to ask you guys. I feel like we didn't talk about this last time. And since we talked about the sleepers in the East last time, what do you guys think about the Clippers?
They're the 8th seed right now, right?
They are the 8th seed. At
So
5.9.
with the way the Timberwolves have been playing lately, if the Timberwolves are healthy, I don't see the Clippers beating the Timberwolves, but I do think they will get the 8th seed. And that means they'll play the Suns,
Right.
which I think they could put up a fight against the Suns. Like, I could see them going 4-2, maybe even 4-3, but I don't see them beating the Suns.
I agree with that. I feel like if they play Memphis though, they do have potential to slide into that second round. I'd probably take the Clippers over Memphis.
Yeah, I agree. If they do beat the Timberwolves, yeah.
Yeah. Just because experience, Paul George is now playing again. It's a huge boost to them.
Mm-hmm.
And the Clippers team, they wouldn't stay afloat without him.
Yeah. What do you think, Gio?
Well, I just wanted to say that Paul George is balling out right now. It's
Yes.
to me, it was surprising that he was going to go this aggressive this early in his comeback. This Clippers team, I didn't think was going to be gelling the way it's gelling right now with Paul George, obviously being out for so long, and with the trade that they have made. I thought they were a great team before, but now they're just even better, and they're working together even better, and their offense is coming together. Their defense is there. I think it's going to be they're a scary team with just Paul George and without Kawhi Leonard, and I think they can make some noise in the playoffs. You never know what can happen if they, like you said, if they play the Grizzlies, they get some momentum. Reggie Jackson has his 30-point nights. Paul George is going off as well. So Robert Covington is also a great defensive player. So
Yeah, I will say if they had Kawhi, they could have made the Western Conference Finals, I feel like. And they are getting a big boost back in Norman Powell as well.
right. As well. Yes, right.
So that's just going to make their defense even better.
Exactly.
So they could make noise. It's going to take luck, but they definitely could.
Right.
It all determines about if they are that 7th or 8th seed, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. Because the Suns, in my opinion, are the favorite to win it all this year. The way they've been playing, it's just I don't see anyone stopping them.
I could see that. They're my favorite to get out the West, but I just have one more team that I think is better that will win the championship.
I might have to go on a hunch here and agree with Nick, and I believe that the Heat they match up well against the Suns. I feel like, and they're both aggressive teams, and they both are scrappy in the respect that they'll fight for every loose ball, and the Heat, I feel like, since they just clinched the first seed in the East just now with the Celtics losing to the Bucks and the 76ers losing to the Raptors tonight. So congratulations to them, and I feel like they're going to do well in the East. I feel like it's going to be an easy path for them. And then I also feel like they're going to be able to beat the Suns because I don't think the Suns can finish the finals.
Yeah, but just for me, it's a matter of if the Heat will choke because we've seen them do it before. That's just the way I look at it.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. If they can come out and just play Miami Heat basketball, where Tyler Hero is pretty much our entirety of the offense,
Right.
and our defense is just extremely locked down. I don't see anyone beating us, but say Tyler Hero has an off series, they easily could get knocked out right then and there, which is what scares me the most about this team.
Yeah, because your bench, your bench is good, but it's not like top tier, I would say.
It goes deep though. That bench is deep.
It does go deep. And there are some players who are like go off here and there, but it's like it's a hit or miss type thing.
We don't have like a consistent two offensive player, I would say. Like
Yeah,
Jimmy Butler and Kyle Lowry. Sorry.
I was just gonna say outside of Tyler Hero on the bench. That's why he's on the bench because they need someone.
Yeah. Like Kyle Lowry and Jimmy, they could be scorers, but they're not at all. They're everything but scorers. Where I think they can get their buckets, but they're never going to like have the mindset of, okay, I need to score 30 this game to win, or like 50 or something. And I just think it's more difficult for them to have those scoring nights compared to Tyler Hero. And I don't see anyone besides Tyler doing that.
I will say if Jimmy Butler comes out like he did in 2020 and plays like that playoffs, y'all are gonna be scary.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Is that if Jimmy comes out that aggressive, right? And he honestly, I feel like he was playing just as well as LeBron in the finals before he was gassed, obviously because no one else was really playing. But yeah, Jimmy Butler is a scary player when he's heated up.
Jimmy gets buckets.
That's right.
Bring that back for Sky.
Gio, you got any segments you want to do?
Yeah, so tomorrow we got, just like I said last time, we got the Off-White Blazers coming out tomorrow. I was kind of surprised that they're still coming out with Off-White sneakers with Virgil, obviously passed, but it's great to see that they're still coming out with great sneakers that he has created. And yeah, they're pretty different, I would say. It's a different look.
Yeah, for video games, well, I'm probably gonna get cut off, but for video games, this just been MLB The Show 22 for me. I've been grinding that, and that's really the only new video game that's been out. And if you like baseball, I would suggest that you get it.
Jack Harlow's dropping tomorrow.
All right, that's all the time we got for today. See y'all next week.
Thank you for watching.
Hey, thank you guys for coming to this week's episode. If you guys liked it, make sure you guys subscribe. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you.
Peace.
Thank you.